Okay, welcome to the first video of BRM5 Guides. I kind of got this channel just to do maybe some BRM stuff, maybe airsoft stuff. I don't really know, but I see a lot of people who don't know how to stealth, or they say they know how to stealth and then they make the most obvious and silly mistakes. And we're just going to cover some of the mechanics in the game that you can use to your advantage when you're stealthing, so that way you can help not blow your friend's cover and maybe grind a little bit easier, sneak your way to those return to base vehicles, make some extra cash. The gun I'll be using in the stealth is a G36K. Obviously, with any gun that you're going to be using for stealthing, you're going to want a suppressor and a variable optics, that way you can get headshots easier. Another thing you might want to consider is higher headshot damage. This only does 102 headshot damage, so I will be shooting the helmet NPCs twice in the head in order to kill them. Guns like the AK-103, battle rifles, and some SMGs will have a boost in headshot damage, so that way you don't have to bother with shooting the helmet NPCs twice in the head. But for the most part, any gun will work as long as you can make follow-up shots quickly and it has decent headshot damage. Now for the kit. Obviously you don't need this many vitamins. This was like $800 worth of vitamins, but do get smokes and little bits of med. You're gonna mostly need ammo for stealthing, but I'll show you why smokes are important later. Obviously you can drive in if you're careful, but flying in when you're stealthing is a lot easier. You can avoid all kinds of roadblocks, guards, and the sniper towers. If you fly really low, you know what you're doing. Either way will be fine. Now I want to take a second to discuss the two bars at the very top of the screen above where it says Stealthing Depot. The very top one is your detection bar. It will fill up with red depending on how much the enemy is detecting you. And the bottom one is the progress bar. It'll have lines in it sometimes if there's objectives to complete, and sometimes those lines mean when the enemy is respawning if you're not stealthing. Now, you should always be scanning for enemies around the outside of the base. These enemies often have a longer detection range than usual, and they should be taken out first if you can do so safely. Once you make your first kill, scan the area for other enemies who may detect you or the fallen enemy. It's important to never have to backtrack to an area because you missed an enemy. You should always pick a direction to clear from and clear every enemy along your path.
Such a nice day. I could really go for a grab food right now.
Right here, I decided not to use my gun because I can hear an enemy talking right below me. If I were to use my suppressed gun even, it would put the detection bar very high, so I just whack him in the back of the head. You don't have to do the takedown because it plays kind of an unnecessary animation, and then also it kind of puts you in an unpredictable spot. I'm a little hesitant about shooting him because of the enemies in close proximity to me. I scan the area really quickly, decide it's semi-safe, take the shot.
They're nearby.
Enemy walks out,
Base.
and I just stab him. Don't underestimate your knife, guys. It can be used for quite a bit of range, actually, and it also doesn't make hardly any noise. So I decided to hide these two guys. You don't have to hide everybody that you shoot because sometimes enemies just don't walk very far. And a lot of the times the bodies do just despawn, just like that one after a hot minute. So you don't necessarily have to bag all of them, but better safe than sorry in some circumstances. Also, when you're doing doors, do not kick the door. It's very risky. It used to make noise, but it doesn't anymore. At least from what I know, it makes very little to no noise. So get good at lockpicking, guys.
I could definitely stay here for the sunrises.
So from experience, I know that there's usually a guy just standing right here, and sometimes with the knife, you can use the takedown animation through walls. Be careful when you do it though, because you do become exposed in whatever direction the enemy is facing for a brief moment.
Only 4 more hours on my shift?
This might look like an easy kill, however, there's quite a few enemies watching him. There's more to the right that you can't see, so I use a smoke here. I don't think I've seen people use smokes when stealthing before, but they're very useful. See, I'm no longer getting spotted by that other enemy, and it just makes this a piece of cake to just take this guy out.
Such a beautiful day.
Also, another thing about smokes, they're not just some magical blinding device. You have to be in the smoke or behind it in order for the enemies to not spot you through it. Also, sometimes it can be a little finicky, sometimes they'll still spot you through it, but just use it with caution. Also, the probably biggest takeaway from this entire thing is if you go prone and stick your head in any kind of object or wall, the enemies can no longer see you. You pretty much become invisible. This is because the enemies track your head to do sorts of things like still being able to see you when you peek around the corner. But take note of that. Use it to your advantage. It's not going to get patched anytime soon, I don't think.
We need backup. I've been...
Now right here I was very close to getting my stealth blown. I exposed myself by shooting at him, and he's already facing me with his gun pointed at me. If he were to have shot it right there, everyone in the compound would have detected it, and it would have been over for the stealth. Luckily I was able to hide just in time and take both of them out. Now, last, just go try it. Go into private server, do push Kino or depot, something small. Get a suppressor, go stealth the entire thing, do it 2 or 3 times. Just get really good at it, lockpicking and using your smokes, knifing, all that good stuff. Good luck out there.